Hello and welcome to this episode I'm going to do today on Arc Smart Breeding. So if you're into breeding, this is probably the program that you want to be using. It is a PC program, but it saves you a lot of work. Let's put it that way. Now, this is my private test server where I've got the difficulty set to 10, so I've got maximum level 300 dinos walking around. So I spawned in 4 of the giant beavers, 2 males and 2 females, just to illustrate more about how this program works. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually add the stats of the beavers to the program, and we do that by first going into the stats of the beaver and then bringing up the program. Now on the PC, we can do the read values from Arc. So if you're using this on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, you will need to enter all these values manually. So I'm running this on the PC, so I can then click on the button and it'll read it in. Now, the doesn't read it 100% all the time, so in this case it thinks it's a Rex for some reason, so we'll just have to switch that back to a Casteroid, and we'll just do the extract on that, and Bob's your uncle, basically. Now, we know that this is a female, and you can see it's picked up the name, which is labelled female 1, and we can just change the sex of the female, sorry, change its gender to the female, and we can add that to the library. So we'll do that to the others, and we'll just do the exact same thing, add it to the library, read the values. Now, as I said, the OCR isn't perfect, but it's not bad. So in this case here, we found that the food value is actually incorrect. And if we look at this, we can see that it should be 188,100. So we can just go in and just correct that and then do an extract level. And as I said, we know it's a female, so we can add that to the library. We'll just do the 2 males. Do the same thing. It will be a Rex again. No, yep, Rex again. So we'll just switch that back to a Casteroid. Extract the levels, and we know it's a male, so we can switch that to the male and add it to the library. And just do that one more time for the other male. And probably pick it up as a Rex again. No, it didn't, but again, it's picked it up as incorrect here, so we'll just add the correct value and male 2 and add it to the library. Now, this is where the program comes handy. If you were to do wild ones, well, actually, technically these were wild, so yeah, I won't do it again. I won't do it again, but I had it set to breed creature. Technically, because it was tamed, I actually should have been doing that, because then you can see. Yeah, this is where it sometimes happens. Sometimes it thinks it's a level 500, but technically it's a level 450. But anyway, I'll delete that and we won't worry about that. So when you do add them, just be wary of, there are a little bit of inconsistencies with the actual program. But anyway, enough of that. So what we can see here is we can see the levels of everything, or sorry, every stat that's been put into the dino. So we can see 67 levels have been put into HP for the male 2, 70 for female 2. So obviously what we want to do is we want to pick up these 4 green ones into the 1. And if we're lucky enough, we'll pick up the high levels of these ones. So we get a 71, 84, and the 376 as well. So what we can do is we can go into the breeding program and it'll basically tell us what we need to mate. Now, on the side here, we've got conservative stats, we've got feeling lucky stats, and we've got click for I'll start again. Check for best next generation. So obviously we're breeding for high level, so we'll go with the high stats. So it says that the female one and the male two are going to be obviously the best ones to mate to get the highest level. And as you can see down here, we can see that when we do mate these, we've got a chance of getting from anywhere from a 711 to a level 787. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go through all the breeding, etc. I'm going to use this program to do a little cheat to say, yeah, we bred that, we got this one, and we'll just copy that to the tester. And let's say we got a female. Now, here it's picked up that the mother. Okay, so as you can see, it's picked up, it's added the mother and the father. And as I said, we've got a male and we'll add it to the library. Actually, I should have renamed that. I'll just quickly rename that instead of best possible. Call that baby test 1 just to help identify it. So in this case here, we can see that it's picked up the 67 and the 74 from those two, which is what we were looking for. We didn't pick up actually we did pick up the 71 in the oxygen, which is a bonus, and we did pick up the speed as well. So the baby test 1 is probably, a very good level to pick up, and we can see that it's a Gen 2 baby. Now, we can go back to the breeding, and we can do the same thing. I'll just do that because sometimes it doesn't refresh. And we can see that if we want to get the next one, which is 793 of the level, we need to mate the baby test 1 with a male 1. Now, due to breeding phase 3, obviously we're going to get mutations and all that sort of stuff. So this is just a guide and just to illustrate how this program actually works. So I'm just going to continue going through regardless of the parents, just to give you that, what's the name? And also the other thing too is you can see that the possible outcome is of an 8.2% of getting that level. But in this case, we're going to do exactly the same thing because we bred it, we got that level, and we decided to keep it. And we're just going to do the same thing here. We're going to call that baby test 2. And again, this time we got a male. We'll add it to the library. And as we can see, in that baby test 2, we picked up those two 74s, which is what we wanted. So the only two stats that we haven't got now is from the female 2 of 70 and 84. Now this becomes a problem in this case here because this is a female and the one that's actually it's not a problem because the one that's got the highest stats is actually the male. So if we go back to the breeding plan, select casteroids again, we can see that okay, obviously, so in this case here, we want to be able to say, actually, I'll go back to here. So, so what we want is we want female 2 to pick up this level stat with baby test 2 to get that in here because it's obviously going to have the last two stats that we need. So if we go back to the breeding plan, we can say female 2, baby test, yeah, female 2, baby test 2. So if we click on that, we can see we're going to get a level 18. So as you can see, if we did any of the others, we're not going to get quite what we're looking for, even with this one. So this is the one we actually want. And you can see that we've still got an 8.2% chance of getting all those stats across. But argument's sake, we sat there and we mated, and we mated, and we mated, and we finally got what we want. So we do exactly the same thing. We go through, enter all the details again, and yeah, we got another female, so we add that in. And as you can see, it took us 4 generations. Well, technically it was a little more than 4th generation, but it is a Gen 4 baby. Um, in this case, again, taking mutations into consideration, it probably wouldn't be a Gen 4 baby. But anyway, we can see that we picked up all the stats that we actually wanted, and we got what we were looking for. Now, the other thing that is interesting to note is that with the program, we can actually go and have a look at the pedigree. So we can see, we're female 2, and all that sort of stuff. So we click on baby test 2, we can see that it has a descendant of, best possible, male 1, baby test 2, baby test 2 has these, all that sort of stuff. So you can see all the pedigree and history and stuff like that. There's some other things like timers and stuff like that, taming timers if you want to go into it. I don't use the taming timer, but I do use the timers for setting off an alarm basically. So that's pretty much the program. The only thing too is that if you do breeding, you obviously want to put the stats into the program before you start imprinting, because the program won't understand at this point in time what you want to do, because in the extractor you would be putting all the values in here so that the program knows the base stats of that to basically create the generation baby that you're looking for. Now, if you do claim a dino and you're not sure of its stats and stuff like that, you can actually enter it into here. But if it's got the imprinting already done, then you probably want to go into the stat testing. You can put the imprinting bonus in here. You're obviously not going to know whether it was bred or tamed unless you know where it's coming from. But if you go through the stats here, you can basically get the points into the health and to get all these to match up as much as possible, and then basically add it into the program that way. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. If you loved the video, make sure you hit that like button.